Morning, morning, everybody. Michelle is here. I know today is Tuesday, so that means what? Not a goddamn thing. How about that? But anyway, I hope everybody's doing fantastic, magnificent, and marvelous because I am. All right, all right. I just wanted to get up this morning. I got some things planned, and I wanted to share some things and see how you roll with this, right? You know? I just want to give everybody something to talk about. How about that? So, as the planes come on through the neighborhood, yeah, I see the birds. I'm happy if I see birds. So I see the birds, doing their thing, and I see, some of the neighbors doing their thing. It's unclear how cold it is out there because some are sleeveless and some have on coats. You know how that is. We all have our own body temperatures. Okay? So, anyway, I wanted to, like I said, give you something to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Um, a lot of people say, and this is something to consider literally, figuratively, and metaphorically. How about that? So, I'm just going to put something in your ear, something for you to contemplate, cultivate, meditate, but not ruminate. Okay? This is going to probably, bother some people about what I'm going to say, but I'm going to say it. How about that? It's not that I'm not considerate, but I know that we all have our own theories and opinions, and we are allowed to have them. And if you do not, you can disagree or agree, or you can move on. There's millions of other places to go. How about that? It is called free will. That's a powerful. That's a powerful ability to have. I mean, power is powerful because you have free will. Understand how powerful that is, and mightful that is to have that type of ability, and and have it to be a part of, you know, I mean, it should make things right. It should make things right if you understand the power and the might of self will. But anyway, or free will, which is the same, but free will. All right, that's freedom there, but you have to consider it, and you need to take it in properly and understand what it means and apply all your sensing to that. What is free will? What does that mean to me? And you'll realize how powerful it is. But anyway, a lot of people say, and I may hear it daily, I want to meet my maker. And I think we all agree that whatever you call it, we know it's energy, right? Your maker is energy, right? Okay, consider something for a minute here. And this is why I want you to understand the seriousness of time, okay? And the seriousness of, time doesn't last forever in a certain context. When you considering things, and everything, like materialism eventually turns to dust, right? Everything, it breaks down and eventually turns to dust. And that includes human beings. Our corpse, when we die, it eventually turns to dust. And it flies and flies away in the wind and becomes, affixed to the planet, or it can go out and, it's dust. Okay, and I also told you everything's energy, right? Everything's energy. Everything is energy. Whether the energy is standing in front of you, beside you, or behind you, it's all energy. I look to the stars and the moon and the mountains because that's what I do. That's how I visualize the expansiveness of it all. All right. So you want to meet your maker. All right. Consider this in abstract terms. How about that? Let's go there. Let's have something swirling freely in your thoughts. It's just there in your thoughts for something for you to observe and concentrate on if you choose to. All right, so meet your maker. All right, so I told you that a lot of people are running out of time. All right, so let me put something in your ear to help to hopefully give you something that to consider. For example, I'm going to do it the best I can in visual, but I'm going to consider the auditories and those and their feelings. It works to apply all of your sensing into any situation in order to expand your thoughts. So you can take it there. You got to take it there. All right, here we go. As him, I told you there's a battery. We have that energy, which we can relate it to a battery that supplies us all life. Okay, we all can relate to that because a lot of people say that in so many terms, but they're not necessarily seeing it as I see it, but they're doing the best they can to articulate their point of view and their theories and opinion. All right, here we go. So I said that we essentially have a battery. Okay, visually, metaphorically. Here we go. All right, that supplies us with life. All right, we know that it's an energy. Some call it God. Okay, I call it creational energy, or some call it energy. Some call it spirit. Okay. Again, don't get affixed to words right now. Let's just kind of suspend the ego, beliefs, and all that for a minute or so. So we have a battery that supplies all of us with life. We have that main battery source that supplies all of us with life, and we all individually have a battery source that supplies us with life, or supplies us with personalities. When one dies, another comes. We pass the baton. We pass the baton. Blah. Okay. So we all ought to be able to see that, feel that, and hear that. Okay. That process is what we are. We're personalities. We're egos. We're I. We're human beings. And individually, we have our own power source that allows us to become personalities, to become a human being, and we also have that process of passing, which allows us to die, to pass away. However, it's a continual process of how when that happens, is you bringing forth another personality, another someone to pass the baton to, that will continue this process. Okay, and that goes on for 40 million to 60 million years. Okay, the becoming and passing. Just throw some numbers, but close enough. These numbers are close enough. They're not exact, but just consider it. Okay, so that process goes on for 40 to 60 million years. Okay, to be a material human being, a solid human being as we are now. Okay, now I also told you that this has been going on for anywhere from 10 million to 25 million years. Okay, and that we go through this for 40 to 60 million years. Okay, do the math. Do the math. Okay? And while that's happening, the planet, which is a living entity as well, is going through their transitioning and processing and blah, 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 via the plants, the animals. Okay, so the animals evolve too, but on an instinctual level. They evolve on an instinctual level, which is powerful. So anyone that says that animals are primitive are delusional. There's nothing primitive about animals. Okay? There's nothing primitive about trees and flowers and plants. But there's nothing, I will stress that, nothing primitive about animals at all. Okay? They have an instinctual process of evolution too. Okay? They were here before we were. And they'll be here when we leave, by force or otherwise. Okay? Keep that in mind. And I'll come back to that. So, like I said, do the math. If we've been in this process of becoming and passing for 10 million to 25 million years, and the process of being humans is allotted 40 to 60 million years. Like I said, do the math. All right. And it don't stop there. It don't stop. And it won't stop. So, and after you completed that process of the humaneness and the materialness, you transition as you're elevating, and as you're raising your vibrational, raising your vibrational towards the energy that created you. Okay, you're getting ready. You're heading towards meeting your maker, essentially. So you're raising yourself up to get, and you have to. When you're raising yourself up, that's vibrational, literally, figuratively, metaphorically. So, again, once you complete the necessary process of evolving your consciousness in this material human bodies, you transition to another process of half human and half spirit, meaning you're half human being and you're half spirit, or half energy, or half, in other words, you become, a lot of people who have said this, light body. Okay, you can say that, but don't be literal about it. Just consider it. Okay, you're light bodied. So that means that you are light body. But as a light body, you will not ever have a need to come back to planet Earth again. Once you get there, you'll be in another dimension, in another reality, another galaxy. Consider it. Take it there. Okay? So once you get to that level of existence, being half human, half spirit, light body, you take yourself, like I said, into another dimension, another galaxy, far, 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 far away from Earth, never to return to Earth, unless there's some factors to consider, and that is where we are per se with one particular person. But we won't go there for now. That's irrelevant for the time being. In other words, we are, because of our situation or lack thereof, and because of the fact that we're not evolving properly or evolving properly collectively, we've placed ourselves in a peril. Okay, and I'll explain that in a minute. So once you get to that light body, let's call it a light body. All right. I mean, it's a human, but it's also half spiritual. So it may be invisible. Visually, you're not gonna ever see it. From a human being standpoint of view per se. Some might, I doubt it, ever. You may see it in your dreams, though. Some things will reveal themselves in their dreams as they have for me. Doesn't mean that I will experience it in my material form as a human being. Okay? So, once you get to that stage, it's another 40 to 60. There's another, let's just say it's 40 to 60 million. Okay? Stay with me. I'll get some numbers at some point, but just consider it. Sorry about that. But I ain't re-recording nothing. How about that? Anyway, so that's another millions and billions of years per se that you must continue to what? Evolve your consciousness. Okay? You say you want to meet your maker. I'm just going to tell you how I conceptualize it to be, based on what I've learned and based on the knowledge that was provided to me, all right? From there, you go to pure energy, but it's a pure energy where you are sharing it with others, maybe 4 or 5. When I say others, other forms of energy, which have gone through the same process as you are. So they started human, like I have. They go to a human spiritual, like I will, and then eventually into a spirit energy, which about 4 entities of spiritual energy, like human beings. Okay, just visualize it, take it there, have fun with it. All right, and you stay there for millions to upon billions of years as well, in your own dimension, in your own galaxy, doing your thing. How about that? And then after billions upon billions upon billions of years, guess what? You're closer to your dream of meeting your maker. And after so many billions upon billions upon billions of years, you're going to have that opportunity to meet your maker, because you're going to be in the same form. And thus, you're going to come together as one. Let me show you the way to go. Okay, because you can't get to your maker, which is energy, creational energy, until you become energy. And that's going to take billions upon billions upon billions upon, it goes on and on and on and on and on. Okay, so it's not as simple as praying about it. You can. Okay, it's more important to meditate on it, meaning just allow yourself to open up without any demands or any request or anything, and just kind of listen, see and feel, sense and receive. Because trust me, like I said, planet Earth knows what's to do without us. Okay, so there's nothing primitive about the earth and the animals, the trees and the flowers, nothing. Anything but. Okay? And if we go, and that's how we have bestowed ourselves as being so much more important than anything else. It's garbage. Okay, and that's ego going extreme. And like I said, we've allowed ourselves on this planet to get very badly out of the control of human nature. Consider that. Think about that. What does that mean to you? That we are not we cannot necessarily call ourselves human beings, is what that means, if you want to take it literally. Okay, we are human beings are the ones that are rolling themselves back to being primitive and acting primitive, whatever that means to you. But it's disrespectful to believe that human beings are more important than animals, more important than flowers and trees, and that we are somehow superior to animals. That's bullshit, and it's garbage, and it's delusional. Okay, the animals, if left alone, but we're wiping them out because see, what it is we've caused this planet to be so imbalanced to where the planet is essentially waiting around for, depending on us. The planet is depending on us, and we've let them down. Decades after decades, millennia after millennia, and that's why our animals go extinct, because of the behavior of our actions, not theirs. They were here to serve us. The animals were here to feed us and thus allow us to exist. But since we've wiped the majority of them out, guess what? Guess who's going to starve? Guess who's going to come to a point where you're starving? And a lot of people are all up in arms about fake food. Well, imagine what we've been eating for the last decades, which is closer to fake food than anything we'll ever know. And the powers that be, with their secrets and your need to know, are not going to tell you. How about that? Okay? So we've done so much damage to ourselves, especially on a deeper, close to our, to where it's morphing and warping our DNA. Okay, thought there's something crawling in here, but anyway. There's a lot we just don't know, right? And we have to allow ourselves to open up and admit that and say, okay, tell me what I need to know. You don't have to be, you don't have to be that dramatic. But when you are, praying or whatever you're asking for, okay, keep in mind, when you're praying and asking for things, keep in mind, what are you asking for? And are you clear and effective about what you want? Because what's going to happen is you're just going to throw yourself in certain types of experiences to resolve things. Because, especially if it's illogical. Because it wouldn't make any sense at all and have no value if you consider this. If all of us won the lottery, it wouldn't change a thing. It wouldn't change a thing. Consider that. Think about it. Okay? So, yes, after billions and billions and billions and billions and billions, you'll eventually meet your maker, or at least some of us. And what's going to happen to most, possibly, is they're going to atrophy. And they're going to be tired, literally, figuratively, metaphorically. And they're not going to make it in time to their destination. They're not going to make it there. So what happens to them? Well, they just get thrown in a black hole, mixed up with everything else there, and created into another idea. So again, all is not lost. Eventually, these billions upon billions upon billions of spirit forms, if they cannot find a planet to accept them, or a planet feasible to accept their level of consciousness at a certain time, they're just going to be in a black hole, spun around into another idea. How does that sound? How does that feel? Play with that. Have fun with that. I got a lot to do today. I'm going to enjoy my day. And I hope everybody's doing fantastic, magnificently, and marvelous all day long. Because I am. Okay? And you are too. Peace and love. And trust me, I'll be back.